seconds to play. Scores! Unbelievable! Oh, Van Nistelrooy! Beckham! That's absolutely brilliant! Rooney! Oh, wonderful! Cristiano Ronaldo! Sosa! Here's Cantona!
During his 27 years in charge, Sir Alex Ferguson has won more than 30 trophies and reinforced Manchester United as a global phenomenon. A large part of his success has been based on a unique youth policy. It's seen him become the most successful manager in the history of the Premier League, a run unlikely to be repeated anywhere in the world.
When I came at the beginning, and we'd only, in the discussions we had the night before I started my first day here, it was a Friday. I met the chairman the Thursday night. There was never any dialogue in a sense of how I was going to approach the job, what my assets, what did I believe in. I think it was more that, you know, we've got a difficult job here, we're second bottom in the league, and we've got some players injured, we've got Oxford on Saturday, and all the conversation really was built around that. I think the reason they maybe were attracted to me as manager is the job I did at Aberdeen, obviously. And in Aberdeen, I did exactly the same as I did at United. I built a football club, and we had a great youth system at Aberdeen. And we brought young players through continuously. And that was part of the success of the club. So without even speaking to Martin Edwards about my plans, that was my plan. I didn't know what the youth system was like here at United when I first arrived. I had to find that out, obviously. And the first thing I did was get a meeting with all the scouts throughout the country. And I told them exactly what I intended to do and how we were going to go about it and what I expected of them. Bobby recommended a lad for us as my chief scout, and he was a local lad, Wes Kershaw. And Wes is actually a professor of I think it's chemistry from Manchester University, but his real bent in life is football, and he did fantastic work. Talks a lot, but unbelievable energy, and you could see him in a parent's house. He'd talk until they give in, till they surrendered. That was a fantastic quality he had. He'd phone me on a Sunday night about 6. I'd be there at about 8:30 when I was still on the phone, and Cathy said, the minute you try to interrupt, he accelerate. He's talking with accelerate, go quicker. Oh, he was incredible, but he was a fantastic addition to the club. And the next year, we took on Brian Kidd, who played for the club, and he knew all the school teachers in Manchester area. So we were able to form alliances with a lot of the school teachers in the Manchester area. And that was an important step forward, because not only were we covering the whole of England, and the whole of Britain actually for that matter, we're also covering the local area. We're bringing boys in from everywhere. The scouts set about their jobs very well, and by doing that, the message got across to the board what my long-term view was. They had to build a football club, we had to build it through young people. And Bobby Charlton in particular was a great supporter, he was fantastic. When we signed young Ryan, at 14 years of age, I said to Bobby, you need to come down and see this kid. I said, he's unbelievable. And I'm standing there and I'm watching the game, and Bobby's walking across, and as just as they get to me, Ryan's been on the ball about 20 times, and he's walked from the pavilion area over to the pitch. He says, that must be him here, there. He knew right away, because, well, Ryan stood out. He was a little terrier chasing a bit of silver paper in the wind. His head was up and he's off the ground and floated about the place. And that support from what Bobby gave, and Martin Edwards also, that everyone we tried to achieve on the youth side was always supported. There's a consistency in how we go about our jobs here. And I think consistency and experience then gives them quite an advantage in terms of dealing with all the different aspects of young people today. In some cases, it's not always easy, you know, that you have kids from maybe broken homes. We get a lot of that nowadays. You know, that the father and mother have split up, so you have to deal with both sides of it. But there's also that development of the character which you have to go through, and to get them to understand that football's not an easy job. You know, it's a commitment, and it has to be done 100%. You can't do it part-time at this club. So therefore, the message gets across quite well. I think also which we do well is we get the parents in to get them to understand how well they can trust us with their kids, and we have that quite well in place. Handling money is not easy for young people too, and you sometimes see them drive up in a flash car, and immediately we do something about it. We don't like to see them come up in flash cars. There's girlfriends that come into their lives, of course. Drink can be a problem, the dangers of drugs, all these things that young people from 16 to 19 have to experience. You know, it happens. There's certain side attractions of being a footballer. So there's a lot of things, small things we do in terms of trying to get them through that period from 16 to 19 where there's attractions for them. They're earning more than they did when Ryan Giggs signed his professional contract. Honestly, I look at some of the contracts we're giving them nowadays as professionals, and I think to myself, God, we got Ryan Giggs to sign a 4-year contract and a quarter what these guys are getting. And today, you're talking about different figures altogether, of course. So it's in their interests and their responsibility to make sure they're in good condition so they can last to their 30s. You look at Ryan, 38, Paul Scholes playing at 37. They did that because they looked after themselves. They gave themselves the best chance they possibly could by looking after themselves so they could play at the highest level. When I started as a coach, before they started talking about diets and all this, I used to take my team at East Down for lunch, and all I would give them was 2 slices of lemon sole, toast and honey. They used to go crazy. Because when I was a player, they used to give you fillet steaks or steak pie and things like this, but 10 potatoes and treacle sponge for your dessert, and then you're expected you couldn't play football, you know. So when I get married, I always remember, I was always best when I went on lemon sole on a Friday and a Saturday. Just lemon sole, toast and honey. It's my wife, Kathy, used to do that all the time for me. And I felt fit as a flea. So when I became a manager, I said to myself, what they eat before a game is as important as what happens during the game. And I did that, and at Aberdeen I did exactly the same. At United, of course, advanced with sports science and nutritional experts that we have here at the Carrington takes care of that. I don't need to worry about that now. You know, it's all done meticulously.
At the moment, Sir Alex is meticulously planning to wrestle the Premier League title from Manchester City. United are 9 points clear, haven't lost in the league since mid-November, and have dropped just 4 points in 13 unbeaten matches. Adamant about his youth policy, Fergie is also resolute about what creates a winning team.
At the end of the day, that the essence of a good team anyway is always recognising the qualities of each other and the weaknesses of each other too. And in a given day, I always think that if 8 players in your team are playing well, then you've got a great chance of winning the match. And sometimes you maybe have to carry 1 or 2 players. It's a fact that to ask or to expect that a footballer in today's world can play, say, 50 games a season at 100% correct is impossible. There has to be off days and bad days, and that's the essence of teamwork. They all pull together, and it becomes a team thing then.